Hi, this is Rick Kison. I am a Pi consultant. On March 2nd, I went to a regional seminar from Aviva have a regional seminar. And the main theme is talking about Aviva Data Hub, right? So what is Aviva Data Hub? So from what I learned in the regional seminar is Aviva Data Hub can let us share your Pi data to external people, maybe external vendor, external contractor, right? That need to utilize your data to do the work that you want them to do. So, and you can stream the data into Data Hub using the Pi server, right? Other stuff like the Edge and all that, but just talking about the Pi system, right? You can put the data, store it into Aviva Data Hub from the Pi server, and then Aviva Data Hub, right? You can grab the data and stream it there, store it there. And from the demo I see is once data is in the Data Hub, I can create a community and add the people who are external into the community. And then I can pick on this, they call it stream, but to me it's like a Pi tag. You can pick on what would you like to share with the community, in the community. And then I guess it's tag based, you kind of search and then find your stream or tag. And then once you share that, then the third party will be able to see the data. I think this is good in a way, and also it can also visualize the data, which actually is a step forward compared to the OCS. OCS is like OSIsoft Cloud Services, right? Previously, I think we need to write some web API to put the data into a trend, like programming, right? And now it has the tool to let you kind of glimpse the data into a trend within the tool, right? Data Hub. So that's a good thing. But I think there is still a lot of lack of functionality, right? It can pick stream, but what about AF structure? What if when new asset come online, then I have to pick one more? Then I have to pick like the additional tags inside. But Asset Framework actually can, when new asset come on board, it will let us see the data available, right? So this is kind of like what I want to talk about in Pi Integrator for business analytics. That one, when new asset come on board, you can see it, right? You don't have to do anything else. You just see it. But there is a limitation of that Pi Integrator for business analytics, right? 100,000 tags is the limit. It cannot like push too much data onto the cloud, right? AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure, right? Data Lake usually is the destination. And then once the data is there, you can use Power BI to grab the data and then utilize the data from the user, right? Build reports and maybe machine learning, right? I wanted to share with you also a cheaper way to do the same thing, like Data Hub, right? And Pi Integrator. Those are pretty expensive kind of tool, and they're there available. It's easier to use, but there is a thing called Pi OLEDB Enterprise. This is an older one, and newer one is called RQTP, right? Do you know that exists? Right? If not, you search for it in the OSIsoft website or Aviva website. And these, right? And at least what I see from my client is they can utilize this RQTP. I'm just going to say RQTP, and they can, like in Azure, let's say, right? They can use RQTP to grab the data into the cloud, right? So they querying the Pi server, get the data into the cloud, and then once the data is on the cloud, you can use Power BI to look at the data from the data lake, right? So you technically bypass Data Hub, and you don't have to use Pi Integrator for business analytics. I think I would expect those two tools can have way more throughput, right? I would expect that, but in a smaller scale, right? You just make a table, you see some data, and then store it in the cloud, and then from the cloud you can see more data because it's already a cloud to cloud, right? So the data, partial data, like the data you query, put on the cloud, that query need to be optimized, of course, and not too big, but you can deal with it if you're a Pi administrator or Pi consultant, right? And then just the right amount, and then put it in the cloud based on business requirement, right? Then my client actually was able to see a dashboard, like they have data in Power BI, right? Like they have dashboard by Power BI, and they are able to see Pi data from the cloud. So this is kind of like a cheaper option to me, and it doesn't really need to have too much skill other than knowing SQL query, because there is a tool called SQL Commander. You can test out your query and get your table, right? So this is kind of like a third option, right? There's two other, like Data Hub and then Pi Integrator, right? The third option is the cheapest, and I think they call Pi System Access License, but I'm not the sales guy, so I don't know what it is. But the tool, the product is there. You can query the data from Pi and then put it in the cloud, right? And then this is kind of like the comparison in my mind when I see Data Hub, right? And from the not the conference, but from the seminar, for personal, my takeaway is since I think COVID, I haven't go to any live events, right? So I think it's a good thing to go to live event, especially you are looking for jobs or you're looking for more clients. Then you need to go to those events and find more opportunities, right? So if you're a Pi consultant, Pi administrator, you want to change jobs, that will be a good option to go there, especially if it is available in your city, right? So you just take some time off and then you will be able to go. And I didn't regret going. I learned some technical stuff from Data Hub, right? Like Alviva Data Hub. Also, meet new people. Okay, so let's wrap up. So this conference, my takeaway actually is this Data Hub can really share the data to the external users, but it is not fully developed. So to me, yes, this tool is shiny, but maybe I think what we can do as a Pi administrator or Pi consultant is look for other options, right? What is best for your company, right? Is it just go blindly to Data Hub? I think there are other options available, and that's all I want to share. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe as well as hit the bell icon. and I'll share with you more in next week.